Hello YouTube, how your mama, how your brothers, how your sisters, how your family doing? And I'm sorry for coming to y'all looking so rough, but I mean that's not what's important. What is important is that my message gets across. I got me this nice glass, y'all, for me to drink my drinks out of, and then I broke it. Don't touch me, peasant. Anyways, so I said I wasn't gonna make this video, but I am because I'm just tired of people being shitty. And then them trying to con it off as everyone else is the bad person. So, let me first give a disclaimer is that I'm not a perfect friend. Um, I don't always do everything right. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect as a person, period. Nobody's perfect. So we all have our mistakes. We all have our triggers. We all have our issues. We all have our problems. But some people always seem to act like everyone else is the problem. And I know people probably have heard me say this before, but like, you just can't in life just assume. Let me just go ahead and say this. Okay, so picture it, Sicily, 1942. Me and a friend of mine got into an argument. Well, not necessarily even an argument. I just said something. They didn't like my response. Um, and they was like, well, I won't even help you do this, blah, 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 blah. They didn't like my response and they said something back to it or whatever. Well, fast forward to later on in the day or something, I was like, this person decided to do something else. And I was like, well, you know what? Have a good trip, whatever. Do what you want to do. You have a lot going on. And this person, decided to still be mad with me about how they didn't like the first comment that I made to them. Now, if I'm coming at you and I'm saying, hey, you know, I know we had a disagreement earlier or whatever the case may be. Because in my mind, it wasn't a big of a deal. In my mind, I was laughing like, okay, we joke like this all the time. I'm not thinking about the fact that you might be sensitive because of what's going on in your personal life or whatever the case may be. So, either way, my point is, I've made it a point to reach out to you. And you've ignored me and you haven't responded. So, at this point, I'm over it. Like, for one, I have too many friends to be worried about one person who decides, because of one misstep, that they don't want to be my friend no more. Or they don't want to talk to me or whatever the case may be. But I feel like when you ignore someone and they message you and you've ignored their message, that you just don't want to talk to them, and that's fine with me too. I mean, I can care less. I'm gonna be honest. It's not enough to even, like, other people have seen your actions. Other people have made comments about your actions. I chose not to listen to those other people, and I always base my decisions off of what I think, what I know, you know, whatever. So, you know, other people have noticed your negativity. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Your negativity, you always, like, honestly, you've never seemed to be a positive person to me. And I know life changes people, life makes people cold, life makes people have an attitude, life makes you do all kinds of things. Um, but at the end of the day, you can't, if you're already in your feelings about something or whatever, you need to learn to leave that stuff at the door. You can't. I have to tell myself this, so understand. I ain't even talking to nobody. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes you gotta leave your feelings at the door. It's hard. I know it is. It's really hard sometimes. Check your feelings at the door, like, wait a minute now, or whatever the case may be. But my thing is, if you're sitting here telling someone else, this is somebody that I thought was my friend, blah, 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 blah. But meanwhile, you ain't said nothing to me. And I'm the person who you're supposed to have a problem with. So help me understand how that makes sense. And then on top of that, you're older than me. I mean, it's just, let's just make sense of the situation and not be childish. That's my main point. Because at the end of the day, like, what are we solving here? We got enough problems in the world. And you think I'm going to be sitting here worried about that me and you are not getting along because of a comment? And at the end of the day, all I can say is I wish you well. Uh, I have a lot on my own plate. I have friends passing away, people dying, the world being in a bad place, and honestly, I don't have no more time for negativity. So if that's all you expect it to bring, then let's just let it be at this point. And I made this video because, for one, you won't respond to my text. For two, I hate being ignored. And any of my friends who know that would know DeAndre hates being ignored. So at this point, I feel like the best thing for me to do is just let it go. Which I did. I've already let it go in my mind, honestly, because I wasn't even worried about it when it happened, because to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. But apparently to you, it was. And also, don't use me as your scapegoat for a reason that you want to do something either. And then, why is it okay for you to have an attitude, but no one else? Oh, it's okay for you to have an attitude or to get smart with somebody. But when somebody does it to you, it's a problem. I'm just so sick and tired of people always acting like I'm the problem. I've done you wrong. I've done this. I've done that. Let me tell you something. I ain't perfect by a long shot. Do I have a shitty attitude sometimes? Yes. But at the end of the day, who doesn't? That's my thing. Like, who doesn't? We've all had a shitty attitude on one day or another. You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't? It just don't make sense to me. I just want it to make sense. Make it make sense. Hypothetically, allegedly, I'm just behooved. I am behooved. It look like some boogers in my nose. I'm just so lost, like, because I felt like we were better than that. That's what bothers me the most, I think. I felt like me and you were better than that. And the fact that you decide that, oh, I'm not going to talk to this person, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like the other people that you have in your life. I don't do shit like that. I'm mad with you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, I'm going to try to talk to you. I might, take a little couple days to cool off or whatever, but at some point, I'm going to try to talk to you. But with the way you did it, like I text you and said, hey, is everything okay, blah, blah, blah. And you just sort of, I don't have time. I really don't. But I will tell you this. I wish you well. And I feel like I truthfully want to say at this point the door is closed. It'd be different if he was like, you know what? Maybe I was in my feelings, or vice versa. Yeah, you could say I was in mine. But it's just the fact that the whole thing just didn't make sense. It just really didn't make sense. And I feel like a lot of people make other people try to make other people look bad, or whatever the case may be, just because they can't be honest with themselves about how they're feeling or whatever. And I'm not saying that's your problem. I'm just saying that I'm just so sick and tired of all people always trying to say, well, this person did this, and this person did this, and this person act funny with me, and this person did that. Have you ever once thought about your actions? Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I ain't gonna lie. I sat here and I thought about it, and I replayed what happened between us. I replayed it in my head, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm notorious for asking somebody else, like, did you happen to hear that? Because to me, it just don't make sense. Blah, 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 blah. And they be like, yeah, you kind of. If I was in the wrong, I would completely say I was in the wrong. Yes, I probably was in the wrong for how I said it. Like my attitude behind it, yeah, might have some attitude, but what's the problem? That's what I'm not getting. What is the problem because I got an attitude with you? Let it go. People get attitudes with people all the time. Most of the time, it's not even about the person who they got an attitude with. But at that moment, I felt like you was trying to make me look stupid, and then it's like, you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna just be done with this video because I'm really trying to live a positive life in 2020 and going into 2021 because this year has been rough enough on its own. I don't want to add no more negative to it, no more BS or whatever's going on. At this point, I just can't be worried or concerned about other people's feelings because that's what ends up getting my feelings hurt because I'm worried about this person and that person and why this happened and why, things are going the way they're going. And at the end of the day, I just realized I have to worry about me because self-care is very important. And if I truthfully feel like I did not do anything wrong in this situation and it was just miscommunication or just you in your feelings about something else or whatever the case may be, it was like I always feel like people use me as an easy target when they're upset. But it's like, don't try to steal my joy, cause that disturbs me more than anything. Like when I feel like you trying to steal my joy, don't do that. That's not okay. Cause never once have never once will I seriously or purposely go around and try to steal somebody else's joy. I'm that person that I'm trying to be positive about everything. Somebody, I try to be positive about all those type of things. But life is what it is, and y'all have a wonderful day.